Hello, everyone, and welcome into Zelda Speedruns 2. Also, welcome in Raiders from main ZSR. Today we have the Skyward Sword Randomizer weekly race. We've got Mario Runner and OFC 2000 Alex on Restream. Here tracking today are Cube David and Jade Minabu, and commentating along with me is Sledgen. Hey, Sledgen, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing pretty good today, thanks. Hope you're doing good as well.
Yeah, we've got probably another 2 minutes before we start off this race. We're still waiting for one runner to get ready. So we can talk a little bit about the settings.
Yeah, so these are what we call remlet settings, and these are aimed more at a beginner level, so that it's easier to get into SSR. And we are going to be holding a Remlets tournament soon that is aimed at more of a beginner level. So some main things about Remlets are we do not have to worry about the Silent Realms. We do not have to worry about the quest items like Colin's Letter or Scrapper. And there are a few other additions as well, like we start with the Ancient Sea chart. But yeah, and we also only have 2 dungeons to do, so these are more speedy settings.
Yeah. Yeah, it is somewhat reduced overworld, certainly reduced Skyloft checks, because many of the Scrapper quests, fetch quests are out. There are some other interesting quirks, like the loose gratitude crystals will not be considered part of the logic. So, nobody should ever have to collect loose gratitude crystals. It is definitely simpler settings. We'll probably see our runners finish within, an hour and a half or so. But we are getting underway. The race has started. You should see the timer starting to count down. Any guesses on what dungeons we get?
I want to say Earth Temple Ancient Cistern, but I feel like Fire Sanctuary might be in this one. I don't know.
I'm going to guess Ancient Cistern and LMF.
Okay, good choice.
I'm not going to pick Violence with LMF and Fire Sanctuary, but that would be
yesterday.
Somewhat rough settings.
But yeah, we see both runners going into their hints here immediately. Upper Skyloft to Girahim 2. Okay, that's quite interesting. So we do have Fire Sanctuary. I didn't see what our other dungeon was, but I'm going to see it on Mario's
I don't think we got another dungeon.
Oh, so then it's Skyview and Fire Sanctuary, I'm assuming? Nope. Oh no, Upper Skyloft to Tantalus. Okay. We have a Fungin Seed.
Yes.
Sandship and Fire Sanctuary. So Upper Skyloft is both of our paths, which is very interesting.
That
I think
tells me we're probably getting some very good things early. I see Skirvo has one of our digging mitts, which is interesting for Fire Sanctuary.
That is. Yeah.
And our
Gorko's Curse Medal, great.
We got Volcano Summit and Gorge as our 2 Baron. So normally you would get 3 Baron hints, but we actually only got 2. I did not see a Betrow 50 hit, which
immediately getting a heart container, which in Remlets isn't always great in case you want to enter back in time, because we have more hearts in these settings.
Yes.
I think early Zelda's bed would be a very valid play to make early on, especially when we have a double path on Upper Skyloft, which is a trick that you can do now, as long as you walk to start afterwards.
Yeah, so if you've not watched a Skyward Sword Randomizer in a while, a couple somewhat new features. Okay, well, Water Dragon Scale is an interesting potential path item.
Could we see Farron first from some of the runners?
I think depending on what we get here, it is entirely possible.
I mean, yeah.
Because if we don't get a lot, that scale could suggest you've got something very good in Lake Floria.
Okay, that's Cave's Key.
Okay, well that is definitely a path to Tantalus.
Yeah.
Like that is, if you're thinking about it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Claw shots, okay. That might be a Fire Sanctuary?
Okay, that is a path to Fire Sanctuary, for sure.
Okay, yeah. So there's that one.
I mean, this is not hinting at some weird Lake Floria.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
I mean,
pretty strongly is saying our two path items are Claw Shots and Cave Ski.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because this kind of just means our path hints are kind of junk this season. Like, this is... Our runners are going in mostly blind here.
Yeah.
Because our always and sometimes hints really didn't give us much other than those myths on the Skirvo fight. And then you add that, I mean, that's really the big thing. Those two upper Skyloft path hints are Sphere Zero checks. And there's still more that our runners need to get. Well, they have Cave Ski, so actually they can get to Sandship, but they need a bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Claw Shots and Scale this early on, Farron has a lot of checks available, which is quite interesting to see.
Yeah, I think we will probably see an Eldin start.
Mm-hmm.
Because Eldin is the most check dense area with the
Sphere Zeros.
With Sphere Zero items. But with the Water Dragon scale and the Claw Shots, Farron is maybe a little more interesting. I would say Linearu is also
going Farron first.
Sorry, I spoke over you there.
Oh. I was just saying, I wouldn't blame anyone for going Farron first.
No, I also don't know that a Linearu start would be terrible here. Because with Claw Shots, you can get a lot of information.
Yeah.
Because
I've never really seen that many Linearu starts.
There's one check in Linearu Desert that is...
Well, that's Bomb Bag.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they can at least chest out everything in Linearu right now. So you've probably seen them pull out their sword and you have this purplish glow. If you've not seen a Skyward Sword randomizer race recently, that feature is called chest dousing. And it's a relatively new feature, at least for racing purposes, if you watch Season 2 but not Season 3. Or not since, it is an incredibly powerful tool. But honestly, with bombs, almost all of Eldin can be cleared, other than the digging spots. Almost all of Linearu can be cleared. At this point, I actually would not go Farron.
I can check right now. But like so many important items this early on is insane.
Yeah, I think Linearu would be a good start because you can get a lot of information. You could even enter Sandship. Farron, I think, actually got a lot weaker because there's a decent number of items locked by your beetle. Yeah.
Yeah. But interestingly, so much of Linearu is in logic this early on. Just an incredible amount.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually Linearu starts are not favored because you need some items to go really do much. But with bombs and claw shots, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, one of the main things for me, definitely, with the idea of a Lanayru start, is that you need something to get through. You need something to get the chest behind the statue in Lanayru Mines. You either need bombs or hook beetle for that. And often you really don't want to double dip the main section of Lanayru Mines, since it's quite linear.
Yes, there are seeds where you have to, and it's unfortunate. And there's our bow, which means you can't full clear Sandship, so you still may need your whip to beat Sandship.
Yeah.
But there's a lot you can do in Sandship right now.
Yeah, did see Alex check Lumpy Pumpkin, and I'm pretty sure that's dead. I'm not sure about the Spiral Charge rocks, though.
Yeah, Lumpy Pumpkin is dead. I don't think Mario checked Spiral Charge or Lumpy Pumpkin. Oh, my stream just jumped ahead for Mario, but
for me, Alex is just entering Farron.
Yeah.
Mario, interestingly, doing this precise bomb throw, getting it first try, which is pretty impressive. Oh wait, no, he has bomb bag. Never mind. But
yes.
Still,
this is not the any percent version
easy.
of that trick.
Yeah. But yeah, Farron first from Alex is interesting.
I mean, the one thing I'll say about this for Alex is you can look at every check or douse it with what you have.
That is true.
There are just a few beetle checks you can look at, but you can't get.
Yeah. It is going to be really interesting to see their different routes. Mario did just get Ballad, which we can... With Ballad this early on, it isn't that useful, since we can only get one check in Logic, and we can get another one out of Logic. But for me at least, Thunderhead is the most ideal when you can full clear it.
Yeah. Yeah, Gal in chat saying the Great Tree Rupees are quite slow to peak. That is certainly true. But
I mean, we may find a beetle in Farron.
Yeah. Also, if you're going to Farron and climbing the Great Tree anyway for the chest, you should just go up and peek it. I mean,
oh yeah. Once you've made the decision to go in, you should definitely follow through with that.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a beetle here, that'll be great.
Okay, there's a Triforce. Interesting. Pretty sure that's Sphere Zero as well.
It is, yes. Yeah, so in order to beat the seed, in addition to completing our 2 dungeons, the runners are going to have to...
That's Bellows. Wow.
Collect all 3 pieces of the Triforce, get the Goddess Harp to open up the Door of Time, and also get the True Master Sword, which requires finding 4 swords. There are no hints, at least in the current settings. This is going to change a little bit to tell you where any of those items are. And so what's going to really happen with this seed is our runners are going to be hunting for those items. There are also a couple things that they're going to need to clear Fire Sanctuary. The Fire Shield Earrings are the main one. Hook Beetle, which is a level 2 beetle out of 4. Potentially also the Magma Mitts, which are the level 2 mitts. We know where one of those mitts are.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing Mario go into Farron now. Basically, Alex is going to be going into Floria, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and that looked like gratitude crystals on the ledge.
Yeah, interesting to see him not go for that.
Well, you can't get it.
Understandable. Oh, yeah. Of course. That's my bad. But,
And yeah, I mean, as Yao points out, both of our runners could go into Sandship and get the bow, or get the mitts right away. So in these settings, we're starting with 2 Sandship small keys, which puts the Skirbo fight, which makes the Skirbo fight accessible from the beginning.
we also start with 1 small key in Fire Sanctuary, just because of the first chest.
Yes.
The first chest has to be a key, otherwise. So it just makes sense to start with that one.
Yeah, it's one of those dungeons. Kind of like...
I'm gonna see Alex peek this rupee. And yeah, it is just a rupee.
Yeah.
So he can full clear Floria now.
Yeah.
With scale. Let's see. One of the chests in the first room is pinging. And it looks like Mario's just gonna follow him along.
Yeah, we'll see if Mario checks the top of the Great Tree or Deep Woods. They're not fast checks to get, but they are in logic, and you don't really want to have to come back to Farron. Like, the way Alex routed this, he is going to have to backtrack somewhat. I'll say Farron is a hard area to route, too. Just because it's kind of open. It's not very linear. Yeah, we see Mario is climbing the Great Tree.
Okay. And that's a sword from Alex's side. On Floria. So that's interesting to see. I have had a seed once where both of the Great Tree Rupee Sanity checks were beetles.
You know, that is, though, very useful information to have.
Very unlikely, though.
Knowing your beetles are locked behind a beetle is very useful info to have. Oh, man.
Yes, and what Yal said in chat, there just being 2 barren hints implies every region is not barren. That is true.
Yes. But, yeah, Cube David, you can actually get under that rock, so you can do reverse Lake Floria.
Okay, there's Whip. That's, I think, all of Sandship we can do now.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think also all of the Linear Sandsty except for the beetle checks. So I think we are going to see Mario get himself to Sandship pretty quickly.
Yeah. Doing Sandsty without beetle kind of sucks. Especially with that very first check at the beginning that you'd have to backtrack for. But with Sandship in logic this early on, can definitely see at least one of our runners going straight for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see Mario is now death warping. Because climbing the Great Tree again is very slow from where he is. Because you have to swim out and climb back up from the outside. It is faster to death warp there.
Mm-hmm.
I think even if you had the Gust Bellows, it might still be faster to death warp than to climb, even with 6 hearts.
It is interesting to see that Alex has the Gust Bellows and Mario doesn't, and Mario has the Whip and Alex doesn't. Looks like Mario's just gonna go check Deep Woods chest.
Yeah, Alex, I think, is when he goes back and gets that whip, he might be kicking himself a little bit. I will say, because Yal mentioned this and we talked about barren location, the one thing that can happen to keep a location from being barren is you can have bottles or gratitude crystals that are not required. So our runners started with 20 gratitude crystals, 50 is the maximum that's required. That means potentially you have 3 gratitude crystal packs that could be totally unrequired that are junk that will ping.
Yeah.
Also, there are 5 bottles, and each one of those bottles will ping. You also will have 2 slingshots, 3 bows.
Okay, there's our beetle.
Alex is, I think,
I feel
when he
bad
comes
for
back
Alex.
to Farron, I think he may be kicking himself.
Cause yeah, he skipped out on both whip and beetle, which are extremely useful for Sansi. Even
Yes.
with P-Hat RBM, which you can do to skip the whip requirement for Skipper's Retreat.
Well, the more important thing for that whip is it locks 5 chests in
Yeah.
in that treasure room in Sanche. Which, even if it's not
Also-
required to beat the dungeon, 5 chests just statistically is likely to have something.
Okay, there's our bellows for Mario.
Yeah, he's gonna head into Lake Floria and then I think go to Desert. He may actually go to Sansi first. So we see Alex going through Linear Mines. It's possible that we see Mario actually go and... Oh yeah, claw shots do not quite reach there, unfortunately. But we may see Mario actually skip the mines and go into Linear Caves and go right to Sansi.
Yeah, that is a valid play in this situation. He is gonna go grab the crystals.
And the only reason I say that is Mario can full clear Sansi, full clear his required sand shaft.
Mm-hmm. He can't full clear Stancy in Logic because of those quick beetle checks, but you can pretty easily get those anyway out of Logic.
Yeah, Mario will know the setup for that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. But there are some rupees that logically require a higher beetle, but if you know where to stand, you can collect them pretty relatively easily.
I'm gonna see Alex going to Desert now. So let's see what Desert has. We are gonna see Mario go get his sword in Floria, but I don't think much else of importance was there. There's Greg, at least, the green rupee.
Yeah. Well,
But that's not useful.
Yeah, so in Skyward Sword, our Greg is actually the Tumbleweed Tim. There are a fair number of green rupees in the item pool. So Greg does not quite hold the same meaning that he does in
As
OT
Tim
or
the
Wind
Tumbleweed. But, yeah.
Yeah, the other interesting thing about this for Alex is... Oh, he doesn't have the bow. But without a hook beetle, you actually cannot full clear the linear desert. So he'll be able to go into some places and use dowsing.
Yeah.
But potentially may be locked out of, well, Fire Node, really. There's 2 chests in the back that you could be locked out of. I guess it's not that much.
And 1 chest that doesn't require bombs or hook beetle.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are gonna see him go to that.
Yeah, he'll at least know if he has to backtrack, but potentially because he doesn't have a beetle, may have to come back here, which is why he's grabbing the stave statue. Just in general, it is almost always a good idea to grab a safe statue when you walk by it. Oh.
Mm-hmm. At best, it's gonna save you lots of time, and at worst, you're gonna lose a few seconds to checking it, so...
If even that.
Yeah, it's good to get them for safety a lot of the time. Okay. Believe that was gratitude crystals that we saw in Fire Node. I'm not super sure, but doesn't seem like it had anything of importance.
There was... Well, we didn't see the chest.
We didn't see the chest at the end, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the chest at the end pinged. Could be absolutely nothing. Could be a required item.
Mm.
That is...
Also of note is that Mario doesn't have a bottle yet, or at least the tracker says he doesn't.
According to his tracker, he also does not.
Yeah.
I think Alex got the bottle in the Nether Mine. Or early in Desert. Yeah, I really think we're going to see Mario just go to caves first and come back and clear mines in Desert after. In Skyward Sword, dungeons are not necessarily loaded, but when you can full clear a dungeon early on, it's generally a good idea.
Yeah. He is pinging mines. Okay, he's gonna be going to mines.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the end of the world. Well, there will be one thing he can't get here.
One thing he can't get in mines, I believe he can full clear mines.
Sorry, one thing he can't get in Desert.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we know about. Yes, mines he can full clear.
But makes sense that the runners are gonna delay Sandship a tiny bit, just so that they can do their desert checks. Looks like Alex will be heading
Pac-Man.
over there.
You should never sell Tim the Tumbleweed. Ever. Automatic disqualification if you do.
Nice roll over that little statue platform during that cutscene from Mario.
It is a little swag time save.
I've seen people do jump slash there before, but I didn't know you could roll. You learn something new every day.
Yeah. If you do that too early, you get crushed and void out.
Okay, that is a bow from Alex. Not the same one that Mario got, but it is a bow. And a different beetle as well.
Yeah, that is a very convenient beetle.
Okay,
Two?
so we are gonna see Mario get Hook Beetle before Sandsea. I'm almost certain that we are. Because there's no real reason for him not to check those.
100% he will get his Hook Beetle. Not that it opens anything
in Gorge, which is convenient.
Not that it opens anything in Sandsea, but... Oh, Alex, I hope you remember... Okay.
Okay. Was Gorge hinted dead?
Oh, was it?
I think... I want to say it was Gorge and Summit, but I'm not super...
I am double checking. Yes, it was Gorge and Summit.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
As long as I got the hints right, which...
Okay. Alex is now going to go to Sandsea. He can do quite a few things there, but he does not have Whip. So Mario definitely has like an advantage here. But he will be able to get a fair few amount of checks. Might see him dip into Sandship for the mitts.
Yeah, I mean, the real place where he has an advantage is when we get to Skipper's Retreat, because there are a number of checks there that require the whip.
Unless you do P-Hat RBM,
Yes.
which is an out-of-logic back-in-time trick that you can do to skip the whip requirement. But for Sandship, whip is hard required for the treasure room checks.
So the whip was inside of the great tree, Jade. There's the
It was in chest and great tree.
Yeah.
And Alex didn't check Deepwood's chest or chest and great tree, which were a whip and a beetle. So that puts Mario in a very good position going into Sansea, since he already has those, because he did more checks in Farron. They are more like out of the way checks, Deepwood's chest and the Great Tree ones, but makes sense to check them, even if it is slow to peak. The Rupee Sanity ones did make sense for Mario to check the chest, and it did pay off in the end. We are going to see Alex enter Sandship first, though. With the hinted mitts, that is definitely an understandable play. Because we can just get the Skirvo check right away.
Yeah, and that is a required item. Well, not necessarily required, but very likely required. I don't know what our hints were, but I don't...
Full clear Fire Sanctuary.
Yeah. Also required to access most of the Goblin base, which... whatever is in there preventing it from being barren is locked behind the second myth, the Magma myths.
Yeah.
And mitts are also required for 5 checks in Elder Volcano. And potentially our other set of mitts are in one of those 5 digging spots.
Yeah, we didn't see the runners do dig spot RBM, which is a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah,
but...
I think we may not see a lot of Back in Time until... We might see Mario do Tenless skip, since apparently the Heart Container here in Sandship was hinted dead. But Fire Sanctuary, we may see a lot of Back in Time. We'll talk about
Fire Sanctuary has a lot of Back in Time tricks in it.
Yeah, although I think, as Yao said, neither of our runners made a Bit Magic file, which I think is required for Tenless skip. I don't know for sure, though. Okay, you can still set it up, according to Yao. I am very much not the expert in Back in Time.
But, yeah. Alex gonna go through the sequence of the mast here, whilst Mario finishes up Lanayru Desert.
Yeah, there are some ways to skip this. If the chest on the stern is dead. But I don't know if it pinged or not, but Alex just may not know it. There are some shenanigans you can do in the boss key room where you can actually exit the dungeon and it will skip this whole sequence. But you usually only do that if the stern chest is dead.
Yeah. That is Hook Beetle for Mario. That is required to full clear Fire Sanctuary in Logic. But there is a way to skip the Hook Beetle requirement with a precise bit warp in Fire Sanctuary. But it can be quite tricky, so I doubt we'll see it on Alex's side. I think it's pretty unlikely.
I don't even know if we'll see it on Mario's side necessarily.
Oh yeah, no. There's no real reason to go for Hook Beetle skip if you have Hook Beetle.
Yeah, I mean it depends again where chests douse.
Yeah. But you can do a lot of different routes in Fire Sanctuary.
Yes, there's a ton of back in time you can do in Fire Sanctuary. It is probably the most broken dungeon in that sense. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. Okay. Alex is about to get his hinted mitts on the Skirvo fight.
Yeah, we'll see if he pulls out his shield. So there are a lot of players who play this game shieldless, and because they run any percent, which is fair. This is one of those fights that you should just use a shield. It is significantly easier with one. Yeah, we do see Alex pull it out. Basically, all you need to do to kill Skirvo quickly, though, is you jab a lot and move forward. Jabbing forward, he rarely blocks it, and if he does, you can usually just parry him quickly. Whereas if you slash, he's actually more likely to block your hits.
But yeah, Mario also entering Fire Sanctuary, but this time he has Whip, whereas Alex does not. So Mario can full clear,
Yeah.
whereas Alex will have to go find the Whip in Farron.
And I will be interested to see if we see Mario do Masked Skip here, which we did not see from Alex. It is a, I guess, somewhat advanced trick. It's not like crazy hard. But it's what I talked about. You can go into the boss key room.
Right.
But no, we are seeing Mario just climb all the way up. Yeah, and there's still a possibility Alex can full clear this dungeon. Or not full clear, but beat the dungeon without the whip. But it depends on where the boss key is.
There is a
even
good
back
chance.
in time, you cannot skip the boss key.
Yeah, there is a good chance that treasure room will have boss key.
Yes. Sorry, I am buffering slightly, so
Yeah.
just bear with me.
I was buffering a bit before, but both of my streams are still visible now, so that's good.
Yeah. Well,
I'm pretty sure chest at the stern pinged dead. Yeah. I don't know if Mario just forgot to ping it, or usually doesn't ping it.
if which chest?
Chest at the stern in Sandship.
Yeah, he might have also that is a chest that, depending on where you ping it from, where you douse it from, it can mess you up a little.
Dowsing for chests in Fire Sanctuary can be a little wonky at times.
Sandship. Yeah,
Okay.
that stern chest, though, you can sometimes ping other chests and think that's it. Looks like boss key chest is dead because Mario. Actually, I don't know.
I think it's dead.
Yes.
He did ping it.
Yeah, he's not going back.
Oh, that is boss key behind not 4-door, combination lock.
Yeah, so that is actually a.
Not strictly required to go into
That boss
treasure
key
room.
is actually not even locked behind a bow. Well, in logic it is, but because our runners know the combination, they don't need it. Alex trying to douse around. I did not see though what doused in the treasure room.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anything pinged in Treasure Room, but Alex is just gonna beat not Fire Sanctuary, Sandship.
Because the thing is, our myths are the barren. Our myths are what are preventing Sandship from being barren. So if that is actually the only item, we just got a very fortuitous Sandship layout for Alex.
Did Treasure Room ping dead? I think it might have done.
We'll get another chance with Mario.
Yeah, we'll be able to see again, since I feel like Treasure Room is very awkward to ping. But that is huge for Alex. He took a risk, and it did indeed pay off this time. For Sandship, at least. But yeah, we are gonna see the Tantalus battle from him, as Mario gets his hinted mitts. So
And
even though it looks... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, for our friend Pac-Man Power Ghost, who is in chat, we are going to get to see the Gus Bellows Tenless strategy, aka the Tenless Blow.
Yeah, so even though it looks like Alex might be ahead of Mario, just remember that Alex doesn't have Whip or Hook Beetle yet. So keep that in mind as we progress through.
Yeah, I mean, that Whip could ultimately end up being completely useless.
It could. It would be insane if that was just useless and the gamble paid off.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where, like, I think Mario's move to check Deep Woods and the Great Tree Chest was the right move, because you can get all the information. But sometimes the right move just doesn't pay off because something else ends up being better. Item layout ends up being weird.
Mm-hmm. We will see Alex in the Tantalus fight go into a corner whilst he quick draws on all of the tentacles that come up out the ground. This corner, so the corners of the arena in this fight are safe, and make sure that you won't get got by any of the tentacles, so you can just freely shoot them. Not all of them. Yeah. If I remember correctly, but at least some of them are safe.
These two corners are the far out corners. Sometimes they're not. But yeah, you use the bow to quick draw and kill these tentacles. If you're playing regular, this is also a very useful strat. And the tentacles drop bow, or drop arrows. Yeah.
In Phase 2 of the Tantalus fight, you can void out after hitting the eye in Phase 2 for the first time, so that you can immediately hit it in the second half of Phase 2, but it is kind of tight with the timing.
I don't know if we'll see it. Well, I think we'll see Mario try it. I don't know if we'll see Alex try it, but we can talk about it. It's a strategy that requires very tight bow quick draw and some other things. But even the first shot here on Phase 2, you have to be pretty quick with your bow. Like, Alex needs to pull out his bow and shoot now, and otherwise he could be in trouble. But it's a lot tighter in the second shot.
Yeah. So, in the end, none of the runners went for Tantalus skip. Oh, but yeah, in chat, a strategy was found, and it only works on the NTSC 1.0 version of the game, but you can use Gus Bellows on Tantalus, and it looks like Alex is going for that fast strategy I mentioned in the second phase of Tantalus as well.
Very important to pull out the bow before you void out, because you do not have time with your B wheel to switch.
Yeah,
and
unfortunately,
Alex didn't get his bow out fast enough there either. It's a very tight window.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, it's not too punishing to fail it, so...
No, it's not a massive time loss.
So yeah, the main thing... I don't think earrings was hinted, and that's gonna be... a thing that's gonna be logically required for Fire Sanctuary. So, we still have yet to see that. And obviously, we've got our swords, triforces, and the harp.
Yeah, we are missing 3 swords, 2 triforce pieces. Not necessarily a lot of items that block other things. The big ones are the Fire Shield earrings and the Magma Mitts at this point. And technically the Quick Beetle.
Yeah. I didn't see what Alex just got from striking the crest.
It was just a rupee.
Okay.
And the heart container item, I think, was also a rupee.
Because I saw Link do the item get animation when he usually gets a good item.
Yeah.
But yeah. I guess it kind of makes sense on Alex's side to just go into Sandship without whip, especially since we got so many items early on.
Okay, I cannot tell what that was that pinged for Alex. If that is the chest behind the Moblin, which is not whip locked, or one of the chests.
I was watching Mario's stream, so I didn't get to see.
Yeah, this is so. We talked about how dowsing can be sometimes confusing. If you're standing in the wrong spot, sometimes a chest can be kind of flooded out by another chest that's in front of it. And dowsing Sandsea from the beginning is especially bad because the way you line up, essentially, there's the chest behind the Moblin, and there's also a chest up on a cactus pillar, and they kind of overlap. We had an async race where I think all but one runner misdoused it, but it does look like it's just this non-whiplock chest, which means, bizarrely, there is not a single item in this seed that is locked behind the whip.
Oh, and there is White Sword, so now we can logically full clear Thunderhead.
I'm gonna say that is very surprising that whip is totally unrequired.
Yeah. In a seed like this.
Yes, the brig was hinted and it was junk.
I think we are going to be seeing Alex go to Pirates, though, which makes sense.
Yeah, now that he can full clear, he totally should.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about this beetle tray. Yeah, we got all 3 Sandship Suntimes hints. But I don't know if we actually got Fire Sanctuary hints at all.
Yeah. I didn't pay too much attention.
Yeah, so...
to the hints.
Okay, one of the Magmas was hinted. Yeah, so if you are watching, one thing I will say is the hints are probably going to get tweaked a little for the tournament once kind of the settings are finalized. So some of the hints you saw in the seed you may not see.
Yeah. Like maybe Tentyl's Heart Container and some others.
Yeah, we didn't see Betrothed 50, but that is kind of a legacy sometimes hint from racing.
Okay, yeah, we are going to see Alex get these checks with just the normal beetle.
Yeah, and so the reason these normally require quick beetle is from the dock. Basically, quick beetle is required to get above the vertical kill plane. But if you do this from high up, where Alex is doing it from, the vertical kill plane is a little higher, which means it won't kill your beetle as long as you don't go too high too early. In fact, Jade Minabu, who is tracking, kind of discovered this because she was playing, had no idea that these were actually quick beetle locked, got them, and people were surprised.
Yeah. But yeah, we are gonna see Mario get his white sword.
Yeah, Yal pointing out, so
yeah, you
once
can
have the white
use
sword-
different dowsing with the white sword. You can
Yes.
use it with item and bird's nest as well, and a few others.
Yeah, basically any non-chest item. So you see, you've got gratitude crystal dowsing, treasure dowsing, rupee dowsing, and you can use that actually quite effectively sometimes to douse things that are freestanding items without having to look at them. And thank you for the raid bingo-thon. I think you were doing Link to the Past randomizer bingo, so hope that was fun.
But yeah. Yeah, you do need to pick up the surrounding rupees, that's true, Yal. If it is a rupee. But yeah. For me,
White Sword Dowsing, I think, is a powerful tool that people don't necessarily use a lot because we just think about the regular chest dowsing. But it is actually quite powerful in a number of places.
yeah, I've used white sword dowsing a few times, and for me, I always forget to switch back to chest dowsing, which yeah, has lost me a lot of time before. So you do need to remember to do that because it is very risky.
Yeah.
If you know that you sometimes forget.
Yeah. They're not in these settings, but some other interesting uses for dowsing, like tad tone dowsing will only ping tad tone checks that actually have items, I believe. It's been a while since I've seen that, but I think that's how it works. So even without chest dowsing, the dowsing can be powerful. I could be wrong about that, to be fair, Yal. Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as you remember to switch back to chest dowsing afterwards, white sword dowsing can be utilized well. Okay, one of our checks in Pirate Stronghold was pinging.
Yes.
I believe that is... I want to say that's the third one.
No, it was not the third one. It was the first or second, I think. Because Alex definitely did not go all the way.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because we saw that before.
Yeah,
That's
this
true.
is another place where chest dowsing can get kind of weird. The first and second chests are very close to each other. They're basically on opposite sides of a wall. So the second chest is right behind this first one.
Unfortunately, mispinging.
Yeah. It's not even mispinging, it's just...
Well, yeah.
You're further away.
Pinging the pinging correctly, but pinging the wrong chest.
Yeah, I will say, as with all kinds of dowsing, if White Sword dowsing gets too powerful, it can kind of break racing in the same way that chest dowsing can. Like, I think having, in the same way that, like, chest size matches contents, sometimes you get bait. I think it's very important for balance that you can get some bait items with chest dowsing as well.
Mario very usefully death warping out of here.
Yes.
I do want to emphasize how Alex is only going to check his Elden Sphere Zeros now, 53 minutes in. So I feel like he's going for more of a risky playstyle than Mario this seed. Whereas Mario went Elden first and then Farron afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mario played this a bit safer. I actually think Alex's play was smart because the items were kind of telling you go.
Well, yeah, that is
go
true.
to other places. The real problem for Alex again is the checks he skipped in Theron. Although, turns out they haven't really hurt him that much, but that hook beetle is probably more likely than the whip to hurt him. Because there's no way that there's anything on there's nothing whip locked at this point, but potentially we could have some weird situation where you have some other items hook beetle locked and all of your other beetles are hook beetle locked as well. Although I don't even think that's likely anymore now that I think about it, because I think there's only one hook beetle lock check that pinged in the entire. There's only one hook beetle lock check to begin with.
Yeah.
Or there are a few, but only one that pinged.
Did Alex check Oriel and Paro?
No, this is the first we're seeing of it.
Oh, this is the first we're seeing. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think we'll probably see him go to Thunderhead and then maybe Firewarp back.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Thunderhead pretty soon. I think Mario's going to Thunderhead?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Which makes sense. It's 4 checks that you can get. You can douse a chest from the Isle of Songs and then get the 3 on Isle of Songs with the items they have. And yeah, this Isle of Songs puzzle is one of those puzzles that I think when you play in the vanilla game is very complicated, but there's an ideal solution that's solved.
Speedrunners and render players just memorize it, yeah.
Yes.
Same thing with the Twilight Princess Sacred Grove puzzle.
Yeah, it's something you definitely just want to learn and memorize. You can do it very quickly, because if you even get off a little bit, it can become awful. I think we may have seen in the last weekly someone accidentally got it knocked off and just did not know how to solve it.
Alright, we've got 3 checks from this crest now. Got a sword. Okay. We have found our Master Sword.
Was that the only item on there?
We had a gold rupee, but yeah, that was the only important one.
Yeah. And then it looks like the other chest did not ping. It is probably... So, it is definitely faster to fire warp out of here than to fly. Fire warping is really busted. Like just as a mechanic. Just because it lets you get around so quickly.
Yeah, it looks like Mario is in a position to get in Zelda's closet, but he might not be going for it.
No, he is.
No, he is going for it. Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's everything in Upper Skyloft, but it is not because we still don't have the harp, which means you can't get the Collins letter check.
Oh, yeah. Gonna be checking the dig spots on Alex's side.
Yeah, so we are seeing something new here in Elden from Alex. And there's really not a lot of places that our fire shield hearings can be. Like, I think we haven't seen Beetle or Betro.
It is kind of strange how we have a seed where, the items are set up in a way so that Beetle is not a thing that we have to check early on.
Yeah, because Beetle is usually 4 checks that you can, or 5 checks that you can peek very early. We're also up to, it's interesting, Mario's up to 45 crystals, so you can't quite full clear Betro yet. And this is definitely one of those situations where, like, loose crystals are never going to be required in logic in these settings, but getting 5 loose crystals is not super slow.
Depends what Beetle has now, since he's going for Beetle.
Yeah.
Which is...
You don't necessarily... Like, the time save of getting 5 loose crystals versus having to come back to Betro. This is probably, like, the niche case where...
Oh, there's our earrings, and there's our harp.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think we are going to see Mario actually turn in the Beetle to get the discount. So this is a very useful trick that's worth knowing about. So you start with the Horn Colossus Beetle. If you go to Night on Beetle's shop, go outside and talk to him, you can turn this in and you will get a 50% discount on one item. Which means you can get the 300 item for 150. Which is great because that harp is a required item for this.
Nice, there is our spiral charge, I believe.
Oh.
Okay, so all we're really missing on Restream, all we have really yet to see is 2 Triforces and a sword, and our last mitts.
Yeah. And there's a bug net.
Oh, let's go. Has anyone done Malara? I don't think anyone has. That is a
We'll
good...
probably see Mario do it on the way to Betro. Because Malara's crystals are the only check in the Skyloft Village area in these settings. So if Skyloft Village is not bearing, it means there is something on that check.
Yeah. Okay, both of the Paro checks are nothing. It looks like Alex is gonna go back to get his second beetle, and potentially his useless whip as well. Since
Yes.
we can...
If Mario's lucky, this will be our 5 gratitude crystals.
Or our second mitts.
Yeah,
Even.
I mean, 5 gratitude crystals, I say, because it will allow him to full clear Betrow.
Yeah, and then
And we did not get a Betrow 50 hit, I don't think.
it is more likely that as the place. But yeah, good
this is a
not to,
Triforce or Sword. Also great news.
good not to do Malara's crystals too late. Okay. It's a beetle, so not really useful.
No.
For Mario. It is gonna be useful for Alex if he decides to skip out on Deepwood's chest again, but I really don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, Jade pointing out Mario did not check the second 100 item. I mean, with
The
what
third
our
one.
runners, they're the third. Mario probably will go back to Beetle's shop and buy the second 100, though.
It makes sense because there are a ton of dead Betrow checks that we can get at the start that might be money. So he might just be hoping to get money on Betrow so that he can then go back and check Beetle.
Yeah, so the 5 and 10 are set to junk items, which could be heart containers, they could be rupees. So in logically, actually, there are also those 2 rupees in Pirate Stronghold.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen anything very useful on Betrow. He didn't get the chest, which, you know, could have been a silver rupee or something.
Yeah, that is telling us then that Betrow 50 is our Baron blocker. We will have to see whether that has anything. But yeah, Mario not checking Beetle. But with what he has, is going to be able to go and clear a lot of Fire Sanctuary.
Yeah, that is our... Yeah, the bow was our Baron blocker.
Oh, right.
We did get a bow on Betrow. Okay. I'm still wondering where our final pair of mitts is. Has Alex checked Betrow yet? I don't think he has. Could be on bat 50.
Mario not... Well, Mario didn't climb, actually, so yeah, he doesn't have the other statues. That's right.
He could have gone for loose crystals.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I want to bet that 50 is mitts.
That's going to be rough for Mario.
I'm gonna bet that 50 is mitts, but yeah, it definitely doesn't have to be anything, as Nindy pointed out in the chat. Oh yeah, or Beetle has them.
Yeah.
That's probably more likely, actually. Okay.
I'll open up a little bit. I will probably close this within the next minute or so or as soon as we start seeing Alex head towards something that.
Has the second Beetle 100 rupees? Check.
Second is
Since
second was a bug net.
Okay.
I'm gonna because you can have some weird Fire Sanctuary key layout. Oh, it can't be in the boss key chest in Fire Sanctuary though. I'm dumb.
Don't worry.
It can be late in Fire Sanctuary. Yeah,
we all make little slip-ups sometimes.
Yes.
It's alright.
I said that and then realized, wait a second, you need... But
yeah, I did that a bit earlier.
You could have Magma Myths locked in the back half of Fire Sanctuary somewhere, and then have to go back for a boss key that is Magma Myths locked earlier on. Because of... You could have a key layout where you can get to the back half of Fire Sanctuary. Also, with RBMs and Back in Time, you can skip it, but even logically, that can be accessible.
Yeah. But yeah, both of the runners are just getting checks that we've already seen so far. That makes sense for them to check. So we are yet to see anything new currently, but I imagine we are going to see Alex check Bat 50 and Beedle soon.
Yeah, although Alex is not going to be able to show us anything new in Beedle as well.
I mean, the runners could just go into Fire Sanctuary with only one pair of mitts.
You are so right, Nindy. I am not even thinking about Fire Sanctuary. You're right. You do need Magma Myths to get into the back half.
Fire Sanctuary is a bit of a complicated one to remember.
Yeah. So it could be in the... Magma Myths could be in the front half of Fire Sanctuary.
Doesn't
it cannot
help
be in the back half at all. They could be in the back of Fire Node. We don't know what's there. We knew that pinged with something, but I don't think any of our runners is going to go back. It could be on... It could be a rare Colin's letter win, where Colin actually has something useful.
Yeah, don't think
it's
anyone...
also entirely possible... Well, no, actually, I take that back. Magma Myths, it's possible we won't find them, but they are logically required to be received.
Yeah. That's our useless spiral charge from Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, Beedle time. Alex is gonna get his earrings.
It's
Let's
not like
see.
Spiral Charge is a super useful item in any
Let's
setting.
see if he chooses to... yeah, he's gonna choose to get the harp, which is fair.
Yeah.
What if Magma Myths on input song? That is true.
That is certainly possible.
It could happen. I would hate it, but...
Did we get anything good in Sealed Grounds yet? Well, we know Gorko is a slingshot, so that could be what's keeping it from being barren.
Was Zelda's Blessing hinted dead?
I don't think it was hinted. So, with these dungeons in the current... Oh, it was hinted dead. So,
Okay.
these two dungeons have the most sometimes hint locations. And so, if you get Sandchip Fire Sanctuary in the current setting, this will change a little bit. You get fewer sometimes hints than in any other dungeon layout.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the I think the thing we said is these hints were solved in the first 5 minutes of the seed, because we got double upper Skyloft hints, which were Sphere 0, with our Claw Shots and Cave Ski.
Yeah, entering Fire Sanctuary without mitts, which is without Magma Myths, which is a respectable play from Mario.
I feel like you have to, because the chances at this point that Mogmits are in Fire Sanctuary is awfully high. And Mario getting that fairy tells me he is not interested in doing any back in time. Because you have to die to go back in time. And fairy makes it harder for you to die because you have to die twice.
Yeah.
That sounds very stupid, but many SSR runners have gotten a fairy and then realized they had to do back in time and had to kill themselves twice.
Alright, here's our first chest. It's a small key.
That is vanilla. But that is... We have one more small key left. We have a boss
Alex
key.
is going to get his hook beetle on Malara, actually. Actually, did he get Deep Woods chest? Oh,
I don't
no,
know
he
if he did.
Okay, never mind. It was just tracking.
Now, our tracker
wait,
says
no.
he did not go to Deepwood.
Oh wait, no, he didn't.
Why? Does not need the other beetle.
That is interesting. I wonder why. I guess it's just is an out of the way check.
Yeah, it is a gamble.
Oh, that's
Mario
unfortunate
getting
when you don't
smacked
shoot those
by-
bokoblins.
Yeah, that can happen. The thing is, the bokoblins actually have pretty poor aim. If you're moving, so you just kind of got trolled there. But does not want to get trolled a second time.
Okay, just digging that for later.
Yeah, can't go in there.
We are gonna see Bat 50 from Alex. If this is Mogmamits, then oh boy. But I'm not expecting it to be.
Oh, it totally will be, just under the
Commentator's curse?
No, I was just gonna say, like, there's always a part of a seed that trolls you a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Yeah, no, Bat 50 wasn't it.
Yeah. So, Batro turns out to be junk.
Did Mario check everything in Fire Sanctuary that was available to... Oh wait, no, he's going back in. Never mind.
Hopefully.
Saving at the statue. This looks like he's gonna do something in bit, but he did get
He's
fairy.
probably gonna do statue RBM.
Okay. He has a fairy. Right?
Yes.
He doesn't... I hope he remembers that he has a fairy.
I hope
That
so
he-
too.
Puts it...
But he will figure that out very quickly.
Did we see item from Colin? Don't think we did.
We have not seen the Collins letter check.
Okay. Here we go.
At this point, like, the two really bad checks that could have
Okay.
Mogmamits are Collins letter.
Colin's letter is a bottle.
I guess Colin. Oh, okay, we just saw it. Impa's song would be pretty bad.
Impa's song, it would be terrible, but I feel like now that we've said that it's going to be terrible, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Fire Note is the other place.
That pinged really early on. It looks like Alex might be going back for that, which is good.
I don't think it's a terrible thing. Both Mario and Alex leaving have both of them left Skyloft with enough money to check the last beetle, to at least peek it, but decided not to.
Both runners decided not to check Beetle 300.
Yeah. Okay, there's Mario dying.
Okay.
If you die in the lava, does the fairy not revive you?
I saw him use his fairy.
Okay, so he knew. Or he found out.
Is he playing on a Wii U Virtual Console?
I believe so.
Okay. Because he did enter back in time with the home menu.
Yeah.
Alright. So, bonked our file on that tree to enter these doors here.
Do we want to just high level talk about what's being done here in RBM? For anyone who
I'm not
before?
Okay, it's doing a bit warp.
Okay.
So what a bit warp is gonna do is it's gonna take the coordinates of where he was back in time and apply it to his file. So you just saw that he dropped in this area of Fire Sanctuary. He will be jumping through this area with a semi-precise little hop there, and then he'll be doing some out-of-bounds movement.
Yeah. And normally in this area, you have a number of claw shot targets you can get to, but when you bit warp, the claw shot targets are not loaded in.
Okay, very
so
nice.
You have to do the precise jumps to get around.
He got the out-of-bounds setup. Now we're going to be checking the balcony chest. That's also a bottle. That I think that's vanilla, actually.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see him hop off and skip to the back half.
Alright.
That is bottle percent.
Bottle percent. I mean, it is possible that the back of Fire Node is just like a Triforce or something.
I mean, Triforce would be a great item there for Alex. But we could very much be in a situation where...
Very nice little Zalphos fight. It's a sword? Yeah. Could be. Alright, so now we're going to be checking the chest in the spiral staircase. Now in the back half.
And you do not want to get hit by these kind of cursed keys.
Yeah, they will remove you from using any B-Wheel items and your sword. And yeah, that's really unfortunate.
So Alex is going to the back of Fire Node here. You have to, if you don't know how to do kind of the double, there's a double break slide you can use to skip this.
Oh,
but
he ran out
you
of arrows, that's not...
Yeah, otherwise you have to ride the Amphilis shell.
That's unfortunate.
Which is the kind of logical vanilla way to get to the back. Yeah. I would just get closer and use your claw shots, but...
what did Mario just get?
I missed that because I was looking at Alex.
Boss key, okay.
Yeah. So, entirely possible that Mario does not need Mogramits. But we'll see. He can RBM this boss key chest, which we'll probably see him do as well. And probably also will RBM the Platts chest.
Yeah. Platts RBM is something that is quite useful. Okay,
Yeah,
saving
both
at the
of these-
statue. Looks like he is going to be going...
He's just
Okay,
gonna
and there we go. Mogmamit's at the back of Fire Node. There it is. Okay. We didn't actually see Mario immediately do Platsavian there,
Yeah.
which is interesting. I think he's gonna go back for it after completing it. He checked the statue, so I feel like he might be beating Fire Sanctuary, then going back in with the statue, and then checking the rest.
So Magma Mitts logically are required to beat Fire Sanctuary. Whether they are actually hard required to beat the Seed, it's highly likely at this point, because it's likely that our last sword or Triforces are in Bokoblin base. There's just not a lot of checks left in the Seed.
But yeah.
Alex, his tracker has 13 locations accessible out of 22 remaining, and those are either in Boko base or Fire Sanctuary. So what Alex is going to do here is probably go to Boko base and climb up the volcano in Boko base before doing Fire Sanctuary.
Yeah, that is very nice.
And the potential advantage he could have, if the sword and 2 Triforces are all in Boko base, he potentially could just
be a
skip.
huge advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can actually do an RBM to get the statue in the middle of Boko base, which is one of the easier ones to learn. And then he can go get the boss key on the staircase.
Yeah.
But it's probably more likely that we just have not seen a Triforce or a sword in Volcano Summit. But yeah, it's Magma Mitts logically are always required to beat Fire Sanctuary. And they are 100% hard required to get into Bokoblin base beyond the first check, which is very likely going to have one of our required items. Mario going for the Spiral Charge chest. Are we sure they both pinged junk? Because clearly they
No, it's pinging. I said they were useless. That's bottle. Okay, no, the other one is nothing. Okay, so it was useless all along, but turns out one of them was pinging and I just missed it. Or they just didn't.
Which check is this here in Boko base? Oh, it's the worst one.
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be the worst one?
That's got to be bottle 5, because there are only 5.
There are only 5, yeah.
Mario did not get the statue outside of Fire Node, so has to run a little further. Again, this is one of those, this is why you always just get the save statues.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ones that can warp you.
Okay, that's even more gratitude. I think we've seen every single gratitude crystal pack, actually. Mario has 60 and he hasn't entered Boko base.
Yeah.
And we've seen every bottle. I don't think Bugnet can ping.
It cannot. Yeah, there are very few places left.
Yeah. Have we seen every single beetle?
No.
Okay. We've just seen 3 of them. There's not
but
a
we
lot
know
of
both slingshots.
Things we could get,
we
honestly.
know every bow.
If any. Yeah, both of our runners on Restream have all the bows.
I was gonna say Gorge Digging Spot could have something, but Gorge was dead. So Volcano Summit was dead, but these Bokoblin base checks are not considered part of Volcano Summit. So one chest pinged, and the Fire Dragon could have something.
Okay, Fire Dragon's reward.
Let's see.
There's a Triforce.
Wow.
Okay. I feel like something. A Go mode item is probably gonna be in Fire Sanctuary as well. In the parts of Fire Sanctuary that we don't see. Did Mario actually check the boss key chest?
He doused it. He did not check it.
Okay.
There's our last beetle. So, at this point, I think, other than the bottle, and there's not a lot of jump.
Oh yeah, by the way, you might want to close the bet on the Mogmamits, but you might have already.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. But yeah, Alex going into the second dungeon, Fire Sanctuary, when he can indeed full clear it, when Mario went in, not being able to full clear it.
So I'm just trying to think about what have we not seen outside of Fire Sanctuary?
Song from Impa.
And it's Impa's song. Did we see the last beetle?
I asked you that same question, and you
I don't
said
think
no.
we have. Jade says yes. Did Mario check? No, Volcano Summit was hinted dead. So it can't be that chest. Yeah, because...
Jade says in Boko Base Volcano Summit.
Right, but that was a beetle.
Okay, yeah, so that was our last beetle that we've seen. If that last beetle, if that chest in Boko Base was a beetle, then that's our last beetle. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sorry, we did not see the last beetle 100.
Oh yeah, 100. I was saying beetle and you were saying beetle.
Like, I'm gonna say this. If that third beetle 100 is our last item, both of our runners are gonna be very sad that they last locationed it.
Yeah, I want to say
Impa,
TMS.
they'll be less sad.
Yeah, I want to say TMS and Fire Sanctuary, last Triforce on Beetle. I mean, it could be on Song from Impa.
Yeah,
it would be really funny.
And Zelda's Blessing apparently did hint. I don't see it. I did not catch it.
I didn't catch it either, but someone in chat said it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hinted as.
No, that was Gorko. That was a slingshot.
Oh. No, Gorko was Curse Medal.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I read that Gorko was slingshot.
I remember saying at the very start that it was funny that Gorko was Curse Medal. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that Zelda's Blessing could be useful at this point, though, would be a Triforce. Because that is locked behind 2 dungeons and True Master Sword.
Oh, nice. Both runners using the claw shots at the exact same time.
Hopefully Alex won't get sniped here.
Is not super common for Zelda's Blessing to be anything. But yeah, the sealed grounds checks can be kind of awkward to root in. Especially if you accidentally fail the Gorko check. That's the worst.
I mean, nothing feels worse than failing Gorko. We didn't see it, but honestly, the trick is just save before you do Gorko, so you can quickly reset if you mess it up. You don't have to save quit.
But yeah.
So Alex is doing the balcony chest here, vanilla. I think this is balcony chest.
I think so too.
So he's gonna get his last bottle.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, there's our last bottle. Not a lot of things it can be now.
Yeah, there's no more junk pings that Alex is going to see. Because that last beetle he abandoned in Deep Woods. But that is someplace we may see him go if he's on a hunt.
Oh, and that's Triforce for Mario, so they both have the same amount of swords and Triforces. And I believe they have the same amount of items collectively as well. They both have 5 swords and 2 Triforces. The only thing that's different is that Mario has beaten Fire Sanctuary. Whereas Alex is full clearing it right now. And that just changed again, because Mario found his last beetle, which we will not be needing for the seed.
Yeah, and I don't think we saw... So we're going to see 2 checks here from... Or a few checks from Alex that we did not see from Mario. There are
yeah, we haven't seen the hook beetle part yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so
at all.
There's a decent amount that you can skip using Back in Time, but there's really no way to skip a few of these chests here in the front half.
Yeah, it's at the cost of double dipping it. Looks like Mario is going to do what I thought he'd do, and he's going to warp to that statue inside Fire Sanctuary that he got before he completed it. So, looks like he did plan on doing this earlier on.
Yeah. Yeah, and this... Jade making the point that I also was going to make, which is... Hour and a half for no finishers in these settings is somewhat long.
Yeah.
Not necessarily surprising with these dungeons, although the thing that's kind of interesting is normally when you get these longer dungeons, you also get more items sometimes on the way. Interestingly,
as you say that though, Jasnik's just finished.
Okay. Well,
so GG's Jasnik's.
Shouldn't have spoiled that before it was in the chat message, but
yeah. We said it about
there is like a 30-second delay just built into the system.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
yeah.
Well. Oh well. We're gonna not be doing the Platts RBM and just getting Platts normally. Platts can be extremely annoying.
Yes. 100%. I wonder if we're going to see Mario. He will probably do the boss key RBM, though, to open up the gate if he needs to get it. Because it looked like Platts did not have anything, although I was buffering slightly.
Alright. Finishing up on Fire Sanctuary checks on the restream right now.
Yep. It's gonna be stuff. The second Mogma or the Bombable Wall. Or both are gonna have something.
Did Bombable Wall ping?
I don't know.
If we haven't checked it yet, then I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, saving the second Mogma is also just not a pingable check. And Mario not doing the boss key RBM either. Interesting. So I would have figured he might do it, but no, he is doing the boss key the vanilla way, fighting the Moldworm. Alex
Now going into the Moldorm fight.
Yeah.
This one is required, though. Another one in the dungeon you can just skip past if you don't want to do it.
Well, there is an RBM to skip this.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, these Moldorm fights can be a pain. As you see, Moldorm is a little faster than you. Or not faster, but is not
Annoying. Chasing things with Mogma Mitts and Fire Sanctuary.
yes.
Chasing Plats and now the Moldorm. Still need to find our TMS and final Triforce.
Yeah, one of them is probably. It has to be. This can't be jump.
There we go. There we are. There's our TMS. Okay, and now Mario is one item from Go.
So, I mean, entirely possible still that it's not in Fire Sanctuary, that it's just on that last Beetle 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to set up a bet because there are like 5 locations it could be. It's just not worth it. And we're about to see one. Oh no, okay. I thought Alex might have somehow missed that. So chest behind the Bombable Wall is something.
I mean, Mario could gamble. If this is nothing. Oh, we're going in here. Nice. Going in here backwards.
Yes. It's a very glitchy version of this room. With the Mogmanos
Yeah,
there.
we are underneath the lava right now.
I assume you could still get hurt somehow, but it's... Oh. No, that chest... Actually... So second Mogma is nothing. But yeah, Alex is now in the second Moldorm area. This one you don't ever have to fight. You can just bypass it.
Yeah, you can see the lava popping up there. It's
Yep.
very interesting.
And this is, I bet, going to be our last Triforce.
Let's see. It's a small key.
Oh, I did not even do the math that had to be a small key.
Mm-hmm.
So we're left with
Notice that Mario only
Impasong,
had 2 keys.
Beetle.
Mario seems to be fire warping out. Okay, so Mario could take a gamble and go straight to sealed grounds, assuming that Song from Impa has what he needs. But it looks
I
like he's just going to
feel
be
like-
checking item from Colin first,
which he has not gotten. Feel like he should probably check Beetle on the way.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, he should be checking Beedle, but he has the option not to. Like, I think he should check Beedle. I would, but you never know until you find it. All right, here's Alex going to do the Platts chest now. Finishing up his checks in Fire Sanctuary. J-Dude also finishing in second. GG's to J-Dude.
Yep, there's our second finisher.
Very respectable.
Yeah, this is one of the slower seeds on these settings, I think, that we've seen.
Yeah. This is one of the seeds of all time. It's one of the seeds that Remlets has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, this is not just a full clear, but a kind of slow full clear seed, just with item placement.
Yeah, there's our bug net. Let's go. Best item in the entire game. Definitely not lying.
Jasmine 08.
To be fair though, we did get a Fungin seed.
Yep. And here we go.
Very quick start.
It's gonna be Impa Song then.
Beedle has failed us for the first time in probably a long time.
No, Beetle had our harp.
Well, I mean, for this specific thing. Gorko was hinted dead. Yeah.
Mario also checking Bat 50.
Yeah, which, you know, makes sense.
Yeah, this sure is a seed. Yeah, Alex now gonna go get the staircase and
Gonna get our dead Betro checks. Mario slashing Betro. Nice.
Mario's might be a little salty when
That's totally fair.
I can't blame anyone for being salty with this seed, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, double dipping Fire Sanctuary. We had some items in some awkward spots.
I mean, the Magma Mitts in the back of Fire Node.
Yeah, Magma Mitts in back of Fire Node was frustrating. We had Alex just skip out on a beetle for the entire seed.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't see Alex go back.
Also, had him skip Whip for Sandship, which just worked out.
Yeah.
Magically.
Yeah. So
But,
Mario will be done in probably 3-ish minutes or so, 3 to 4.
I want to say 4. But yeah. Song from Impa.
Rude place for the last Triforce.
There we go.
Now Mario's in go mode.
Now Mario can just go straight to the finish.
Such a long track.
If he gets the If he gets a clean endgame, he can have a 150XX finish.
Yeah, might even be just under. No.
I don't think it's possible.
I mean, demise you can do in about 30 seconds, but I don't.
I mean,
know if you do G3 in.
Demise is fast, but I don't think it's fast that the whole fight is 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, getting in and everything is probably like closer to 45 for Mario.
Yeah.
It'll be
gonna
close
see about
to,
a 150 finish.
It'll be pretty close to a 150.
Nice harp playing.
Yeah.
You love to see it.
I mean, that's a classic while you're waiting for Girahim to stand up. Time waster.
Right, that is Girahim 3, phase 1 down.
Which is the slowest of the 3 phases. I said that and then thought, I was like, yes, that actually is correct.
Yeah, Girahim phase 2, we want to do a spin attack and a slash, or a spin attack and another spin attack in the same side. You can also stun lock him to go with a Skyward Strike, a Skyward Stab, to go straight into the third phase, which is a nice little fast strat that you can do. But
you have to back up before you do the stun lock.
Yeah, that is true. And then if you slash on opposite directions, you can get each cycle of this sword in just
this is going to be sub 150.
Attacks. But yeah, we'll be close to the 150 mark, but we will not be seeing sub 150 from Mario.
I think we might. I mean, would need a very good demise, but totally possible for Mario.
No, he can't.
30-second demise.
Nah, 30-second. Nah.
I mean, isn't world record demise like 20 seconds?
I remember the demise split being... If you split after Girahim 3, I think the demise split is like just over a minute.
Yeah, I might have underestimated it, but the world record to beat demise is like 20-something.
I mean, I can check right now.
For the IL. Oh, because the boss rush doesn't include cutscenes. Okay. Mario also having a little trouble here. Probably going to be in third place in our race, unless someone comes in. But yeah, having a lot of trouble here with phase 2.
Can be annoying if you don't get the Skyward Strike. That looks like it's going to be it. Okay, just about. No, we're not going to be able to get the final blow.
Down the second time, though.
Alright, there we go. 150-45 from Mario. GG's.
Yep. And we will see if he wants to come in for an interview.
And as this is happening, I'm going to check the current world record. How fast demise is.
Yeah, the world record splits are going to be faster than the kind of IL boss rush time, which is what I was thinking about.
Okay, world record does demise in around well, from when they gain control of Link, it's around 50 seconds long. From when they gain control of Link in the demise fight.
And welcome in, Mario. GG's.
Yeah, GG's on the run.
Nothing about
overall, thoughts on the seed?
Nothing about that felt good. Though honestly, in the first half, I was like, this is a complete baby seed because I got like 6 B-Wheel items in 20 minutes. And then the second half, I grabbed the fairy for no reason, then forgot I didn't have Magma Mitts. And
yeah, Golden did
and got trolled by Keese and FS. It was terrible. And then I went back, and then I went to the map room after I got Magma Mitts, and then forgot that since I'd already beaten it, I could have just doused it, and I didn't need to run all the way there. And then it was kind of cool figuring out, oh wait, there's only 2 things left in the game. Sealed Grounds must be the play because TMS was hinted to have the last slingshot. So the only thing that could be preventing Sealed Grounds from being barren is it having the Triforce on the harp check. That, and I'd done everything else, so I had no idea where else to go. But
Yeah,
that was rough in the
we were
second half.
talking about this. Like Sandship Fire Sanctuary Seeds, you can find a lot of your Triforces and swords on the way because you just need a lot of items. But you had Sandship access 10 minutes into the seed, and other than the earrings, which were kind of gross, like you had pretty early access to Fire Sanctuary too. And then just the hints did not really help at all.
Yeah, double upper Skyloft path is not what you want to see for Sandship and Fire Sanctuary. When I saw that, I was like, that's not helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like Alex right now is going down. Hopefully is going to check Impa Song before he checks Deep Woods.
It was interesting to see, Mario, how Alex went into Sandship without the whip. And
ooh, that's a spicy play.
Yeah, you went
he
to...
would have paid off though, because Treasure Room was dead. And Prig was hinted garbage.
Yeah, and you went into Fire Sanctuary without Magma Mitts, whereas he went into Fire Sanctuary with Magma Mitts.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought I had Magma Mitts. You get them so early in like every Rimlet seed, I just kind of forgot I didn't have them yet. Which was, so I picked up a fairy because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not doing bit. Like I'll just take the extra health. I don't know why I took the extra health. I had 10 hearts anyway, and I never need a fairy without horde anyway. Like, I don't know what I took the fairy for. I just like was like, I can grab it. That'd be
Just
funny.
Muscle memory, I guess.
And then I tried to. It was so bad.
Yeah. Alex completely skipped the beetle on Deepwood's chest, by the way.
Oh no.
And weirdly, it didn't punish him too much.
Not at all, really.
I'm surprised by that actually, because that helped my Farron routing like significantly, because I was able to just sweep everything in one go, basically.
As we speak, though, it's in G3.
Those beetle lock checks in Farron didn't actually have anything other than crystals.
Yeah, true. I would have been scared though, because I'm bad at peeking the one on top of the tree.
Oh yeah,
like, by slingshot guy, not on top of the great tree.
But yeah.
What else did I do? Oh, yeah, there was this weird thing at the start when I went to Sandship and I like doused down and to the right, and I saw a ping that was like aimed down. So I was like, "Oh, okay. Like the stern chest or whatever it's called must be something." And then I go down there and it's a heart container. And I have no idea what was pinging because like the boss key chest was dead and the entire treasure room was dead. Like nothing was pinging except the combo lock check, which I forgot the combo lock. I forgot the combo for a brief moment.
Oh yeah, that scared Jade in the chat.
Yeah, that I like forgot the combo for a moment. Very, very spooky. But I guess I'm just trying to like think about the Sandship layout. It might be on that side of the ship, which would it? I'm not even sure. That's the only thing that could have been pinging though, because I think that's the only chest that actually had anything useful outside of the mitts in Skirvo. But yeah, I was so confused when that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising that Sandship was so empty because you could get there so early. Like, I know logically that doesn't make a difference, necessarily, but it was still kind of surprising. And while the Magma mitts were required, the regular Mitzlock checks didn't really have anything.
Yeah, I did like a whole Elden sweep and then was going into Fire Sanctuary and was like just thinking like I have nothing. Like I have so little in terms of like end game stuff.
Yeah, it was a very weird seed.
Triforce of Power on Fire Dragon is very fitting, I think, though. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Alex entering Demise now. We're about to see him finish with a 158, probably, if he gets the strats well.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah, I think probably the worst item place in the game was those Magma mitts in Fire Node. Just because, like...
Yeah. I forget if there was like a accessible path to Hook Beetle before going to Lineru. There might not have been, but I don't know. I just remember like when I went back there with Hook Beetle, I was like, "This is probably Magma mitts, isn't it?" Like, because there's very few other places where it could be, and it was.
I can't remember where the other beetles
Nindy
were.
Cat says Stern is right behind Combo Lock.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, that would make sense. Huh?
And that
yeah.
is the finish.
That let me think. Yeah.
For Alex, 158.50 on race time, but I think it was actually like a 158.49.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm delayed a little more. That's why.
Yeah, no. It said in chat a while ago, and I waited until he finished on my side to say. But there we go.
Yeah, so Alex is also going to come in for an interview.
Getting a sub 2 on a seed like this definitely isn't easy.
Yeah, it was a very deceptive seed. I think like everyone noticed.
It was a tough one.
Also, this is the second time today I've gotten Tough Beetle, which is kind of funny. Like you almost never see it, but I've gotten it twice.
But yeah, nice Fungin Seed. Very entertaining the full way through on Restream.
And we have Alex now.
Yo. What's
GG,
up,
Alex.
GG's.
So, before we get to questions, just overall, what did you think of the seed?
I think it was your standard full clear, or close to it. I mean, I had like 2 one-off locations, but just Sword and Fire Sanctuary boss key will do that to you, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like it was not a conventional full
the
clear,
start of
but...
it. Yeah, I liked the start of the seed. The start of the seed was pretty much you could do almost any region and still have a lot of checks there, which was neat, I think, for many of the Remlet settings.
Yeah, we saw. So, I mean, Mario went to Elden right away. You did not touch Elden until what, 50 some minutes into the seed?
It was pretty late. Yeah.
Which we don't see very often.
Definitely not, yeah. I was trying to see if I could get those digging mitts before going Elden. I think
yeah, we did see Mario do Elden first, whereas I believe you went Farron first?
Yeah,
I think
first.
Yeah.
You could get away with it if you go caves and get the bow there, but I got the bow from Elden and was like, okay, Sandship next, basically.
Yeah, I got a bow from caves.
I was gonna say...
I was going to say, Yal was in chat saying he would have started Lineru, so just kind of multiple opinions on where...
Yeah, starting Lineru is rare.
Forget where bombs were, but we had hookshot super early.
Bombs were like on Goddess Sword or something. They were like...
Okay.
I believe bombs were in some sort of crawl space.
Oh yeah, Waterfall Cave crawl space, that's
it. Yeah, okay, so yeah.
I had them before Elden 1.
lets you do so much in Lanayru.
Yeah. I was gonna say, Alex, how you skipped the whip and the beetle in Farron. There was a beetle in the Deep Woods chest and went to Sandship, and it paid off.
Yeah, I don't like the Deep Woods check. I think it's just really obnoxious to get to if it pings, so I just rather not ping it at all. And if it has something that screws me over in a race, then so be it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I can't necessarily fault you. It's why I think I said that might not be the worst check to hit, but yeah, I mean, it worked out pretty well for you.
This is why we gotta turn on random starting statue and get Deep Woods start.
Yes, I loved that last scene. Oh, it was beautiful. Chef's kiss.
Not for Remlet's tournament. But,
yeah, probably not.
Going
a little late to lock in settings for Remlets, but
yeah, settings are not changing, but it would be fun for later.
Yeah, it was also interesting. I mean, we saw, to Alex, because you had Mogomits when you entered Fire Sanctuary, you did it pretty much straight through conventionally. Mario skipped front half, bit warped to do back half first, cleared it, but then had to come back with Mogomits. I don't know if it probably still saved time over a regular clear, but double dipping Fire Sanctuary, I feel like of all the dungeons, always feels the worst.
Honestly, considering I had to take damage via lava like 12 times, it probably didn't save any time.
Yeah. We saw you pick up that fairy and assumed you were not going to do any back in time, and then
I didn't think I would need to. I'm never picking up fairies again. I don't need to pick them up. Like, I don't know why I did it. I just did it. It's stupid. I don't know. Very silly.
I'm trying to think if I have any more questions for you two or anything else I want to talk about, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I want to say
anything you want to talk about, Sledging, or
I want to say that out of all of the dungeons, even though double dipping Fire Sanctuary feels the worst, it is valid that you just will see runners double dip Fire Sanctuary sometimes.
I was glad I didn't have to double dip that sand ship with the entirety of the treasure room being pinged dead. I had to do like a triple take on that because like surely I'm missing something. Treasure room's always got to have something good, but just didn't have anything. So, or as far as I'm aware, unless I'm.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably the most surprising moment of the seed because we were expecting you to get punished, and then not only did the treasure room have nothing, but also the two whip-locked chests in Skipper's Retreat had nothing.
Yeah, that was really nice as well.
Which meant Whip didn't lock a single thing in the seed.
But yeah, apart from Song from Impa having last Triforce on restream and the Beedle 100 check failing us, I think that's all I have to talk about as well.
All right, well, want to thank both of our trackers, Cube David and Jade Minibu, and thank you, Sledgen, for commentating. And thanks to both of our runners for being willing to be on Restream, and GG's. The next Skyward Sword weekly race will be next Saturday at 4 p.m. We're probably going to have some more Ocarina of Time Randomizer here on ZSR this week and beyond. Meantime, we're going to go right over to the Silver Gauntlets, where they've got the OTR Challenge Cup. Hope everyone has a good Sunday night, and thank you for watching.
Bye.